Alrighty, welcome back. Book week number 6 of this summer reading challenge. And this week I've read The Way of the Superior Man. And to give it an introduction, it's written by Deida, and it's quite well known in the alpha sigma male grind set community. And basically, it's the genre, I would say it's obviously a nonfiction, and it's for self-improvement, for men seeking kind of like a direction. Maybe you grew up without a father figure, and maybe you're just looking for a way to navigate life. And specifically in this book, it's mainly about girls and like women rather than like other like areas. So I guess, yeah, let's just get into it. When I first heard this book, I was super excited. I thought like, damn, I could finally read something that will like make me, be a superior man. Kind of, I don't know, change my thought. But as I read this, it didn't fulfill my expectations. Let's just say that. I guess to summarize the book, there's like 8 chapters or 8 sections, and in those sections are like multiple chapters. And like, for example, I'll just read all of them. So part 1, it talks about a man's way, and it's in the title. It's kind of just how you should deal with like what happens to you as a man. Part 2, it says dealing with women. Part 3 is working with polarity and energy. We'll talk more about that later. I did not get that chapter. Part 4, what women really want. So yeah. Part 5, your dark side, edgy as hell. There's other parts he just didn't list it in that index. That's strange, but yeah, there's like around 8 parts. Overall, this book is 200, just under 200 pages. It's a fast read. I read half of this in like a day, and then I kind of like just waited and like procrastinated. Yeah, so let's get into I guess some minor details that I found interesting, maybe some passages. Let's see, any interesting aspects that I found. I guess there's oh my god, I really just, it's hard for me to find positives for this book because I didn't really enjoy it. But I guess something that is interesting is this author kind of says some like pretty like on the edge things, like things that Andrew Tate would like openly say, and like some of them make kind of sense. Like in chapter 32, it says she doesn't really want to be your number one. Like what this chapter really talks about is like women will talk about how much they like care and like how much they value the relationship, but they will constantly test their man to see if their mission or goal is actually more important. And they like that. Apparently they like a man who doesn't just completely I guess rely on the woman for their own satisfaction or fulfillment. They like a man who can like, without them they could still function, and like they have a bigger purpose in life. Again, most of this stuff is so like, I don't want to say obvious, because maybe to some people who like don't have, again, like the father figure or someone you look up to, it doesn't really, it might not make sense to them. But most of these things, if you grew up in a relatively normal household, it's not too out of the box. It's not too wild, right? Like, don't force the feminine to make decisions, or like, I guess there's some good stuff in here, but just be wary. Like, most of it is kind of just like filler. But yeah, that's kind of the summary. Now, my opinions and my impressions. Holy, I can finally start talking like some smack. I did not like this book. I know I just hyped it up for like the past 6 minutes. I did not like truly like this book. And it kind of, I had way, it's probably my fault. I had way too much expectation going into this, but it was not great. Again, like I said, a ton of filler that like everybody knows, unless, again, I don't want to restate myself. But yeah, again, a lot of the same stuff, a bunch of repeated like things or ideas. So like, I swear in 3 chapters, he talks about how you shouldn't let your desire for women to be like suppressed. Like how like sigmas are like, oh yeah, I don't like women, women, I don't need that. Like, and those like people who are like, hey, don't like fantasize about that stuff. Don't like think of her like that. He kind of argues against that, but he does it 3 times. I swear to God, in 3 chapters. Oh my God, bro, like, I don't know, maybe it's my reading comp, but I swear I remember him mentioning that like 5 times, 3 times in each chapter. Like, bro, it's crazy. Anyways, other than the filler, the repetitive nature of his tips, the third, oh my, blaring issue is they're all so, like, they're not tangible. What I mean by that is, let's say this guy will talk about woman and like your feelings as like an energy, as a north and south pole, and he'll be like, you should let it circulate from your toe to your head and then back down and then up again and just keep circulating. Let that energy build, homie. Bro, what are you talking about? You're just horny. Why are you talking about energy now? Oh, anyways, that's enough clowning. I think, again, it's very hard to say I like this book, but for some people out there, maybe it's for you. It's not for me. Every single thing. Wait, okay, this is the 4th point. Every single thing is about like penetration and like sex. I know it says right here, like, a spiritual guide of mastering the challenges of woman, work, and sexual desire. But dude, I've never met a more horny person than this author. I swear to God, in every line, if he doesn't mention a woman's boobs or like having sex, it's not written by him. It's not written by this guy. I can guarantee you. So, to sum it up, in conclusion, right? Who do I recommend this book to? Well, people who are horny, are very, very like, I don't know, primal. Like people who need to like understand how to deal with these feelings of like, desire and lust. Read this book, because you will relate to my boy Deida so much. Your north and south poles are gonna be energized. Trust me. Anyways, that's who I recommend it to. If you don't have a father figure, maybe this also would help. And don't go into this like me, thinking that it's like, oh, it's gonna be about discipline. It's gonna be about like hard work, like the value of life, or how to be happy, like whatever. It's very, very just based on women, okay? Like, it's 90% just women, which I didn't know. So that's on me. Raw impressions. So personally, I would give it out of 10 probably I want to say a 2, or like a 2, because I came out of reading this book learning nothing, and that's not a good sign. especially with a fiction, non-fiction self-improvement book. That is not a good idea. Bro, I meant to say sign. That's not a good sign. Alright, so just to finalize and fully conclude everything, my thoughts, not great. Maybe someone else will find it useful, like many others, in like the fitness alpha male community. Would I recommend it to a friend? No. Would I read it again? No. Again, 2 out of 10 for me. No hate. No hate. But yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, this week's book is done. Week 6. Now, I have a goodie for next week. Boom. Into the Wild by John, I'm not saying that name. I've seen a video on this by Mr. Ballin. Love him, storyteller. Shout out. He covered his story on his channel, and I've been looking for this book ever since, and it just turns out that my brother has it, like literally in his bookshelf. And I was like, what? Why didn't you tell me earlier? So I'm gonna try out this book. Very excited. I'm more excited for this book than for this book's. Like, I'm serious. I'm so excited to read this because I saw the YouTube video and it was like a crazy story, and this is basically a summary or like a journal. Yeah, a journal of this guy. And what he did is he went into the wild for like months, right? And completely went off the grid and just survived. And then somebody found his body like in a stream like way later. So I mean, it can't be bad, right? So we'll try this next week and I'll see you back here. Thank you for watching. I know Gally is always here, so I appreciate that, dude. But yeah, thank you. I'll keep this streak going. Very proud of myself for actually reading all these books. Like as I said, I was not a big book guy, literally during school. So I'm happy. Things are going well. Thank you.